Hi, I'm B. Welcome to my channel. This is my magic garden, and I thought before I, give it one hell of a shot to make a YouTube channel out of it, maybe I should explain a little bit about the magic garden, why I started it, and take you on a little tour of what's left of it. So I started the magic garden and my website DIY at thebeehive.online last year, really out of necessity. I went through a horrible divorce, got cheated on, got left in the middle of nowhere, kind of really just super lost in my life. And the truth is I wasn't really sure how to get myself out of that. I get lost sometimes in this world, and it's okay because sometimes it's the universe's way of saying, hey, you're not on the right path, you need to go this way. And it always seems to pick me up by the, scruff of my shirt and be like, this is where you need to be. Well, I have to figure these things out for myself. And so being lost like that, you just don't know what you like, you don't know where to start. It's just kind of it's a big blank spot in your life. And so out of inspiration, I think I picked up some pallets and a hammer, and the next thing you know, I started building things. Every time I set a nail, man, I was finding out that I had all these skills and I could do all these things that I was told I couldn't do or didn't have the skill for. And man, it really changed me in a way. It gave me a confidence, not an arrogance, like a confidence that, you know, the beliefs in what I can and cannot do are really in me and they're not hand-fed by somebody else. But apparently I'm a little, it takes me a little while to learn the things I need to, I guess. So anyway, the next thing you know, I decided I wanted a garden. Well, in order to do that, I needed garden boxes, and I couldn't afford them, so, because they're expensive as hell, I built them myself. And the next thing you know, I started planting seeds. Now, mind you, when I first started this, I had no idea about a garden. I had no idea what I was doing. Man, all I know is one of my best girlfriends turned me on to Roots and Refuge Farm, and Jess and her family changed my life, and they've inspired me to do things that I never understood that I could do. It's a really beautiful thing when you wake up one morning and you realize that you're just worth it, and so is life. And so the next thing you know, I started sowing seeds. And yes, I do get emotional about this because it was a hard road, and to have Jess and her family there to kind of guide where I was going to go in this, it was like having an unknown best friend. I just will never in my life be more thankful for that. And so I started sowing seeds, and for every seed I sowed, and it started to grow, so did I. I learned so much about myself and so much about gardening and taking better care of myself and loving this life that I really wanted to share that feeling, this emotion that I have with other people. I really wanted them to know what it was like to find yourself in something that you created, and that's not always easy to do. Life is so much different for me now, thank you to this garden. And but again, like I said, I made so many mistakes, one of which is that I planted my garden way too late in the year. The boxes didn't even come out until like June or July. And so by the time I was ready to harvest, lo and behold, Mother Nature decided she was going to kill my entire garden in one night. It was devastating. Man, I came out, and I think it was the first time I ever cried over a plant in my whole life, or plants. But just a few days before that, I had sat up underneath one of my canopies, and I took a deep breath, and I realized that not only was I home and I was no longer lost, but I did all this. I did it myself. Nobody told me that I couldn't do it. Everybody encouraged me to do it, and when I finally did do it, I realized that, man, this life is so worth living when you could see the beauty in things, and that's not always easy to do. I didn't mean to start this whole channel off on an emotional note. It's just, it means so much to me, the amount of things that I've learned out of this. So getting over the devastation of the dead garden, just not even, we're now in January, the end of January, just not even like 2 weeks ago, we had another windstorm because Mother Nature is drinking again, and it literally destroyed the garden. Like, it destroyed everything I really had worked for. I kind of knew that some things needed to come down before the end of the season, which was another mistake of mine, but being that I'm doing it on my own, sometimes you learn your lesson. There's some things you can do, some things you can't do, and you just have to accept, the consequences of not taking action on that. So I came out and all the back trellis was completely gone. The whole thing is completely destroyed. And I cried about that, man. It really devastated me because not only can I not afford to replace everything that's in there, I really spent more time, more energy, more money than what I had in trying to build this all at one time. So for me, it was almost like I just felt defeated as hell, man. I really felt defeated. I wasn't sure if I was going to pick this back up again. And somebody on Facebook, one of my dear friends, said that this was a clean slate and I could start all over again, which is exactly what I'm going to do. It's going to be rebuilt bigger and better than it was last year. So this is kind of what it looked like last year. This is what it started out to be. It was nothing. There was nothing here. No one had taken care of this property in a really long time. And I just saw this vision. What I wanted to do was create a magical garden with all kinds of magical feelings and a meditation deck. So that wasn't just me, but like my family and friends can come out and relax on a hot day, or when we get lost on this planet, we can just come and regroup and be with nature and eat of the fruits and vegetables that we created here. There was definitely a feeling of massive accomplishment, man. I don't think anything has ever felt better than feeding my family right out of the garden that I have in the side of my house. I can remember making spaghetti last year and being like, oh my God, Basil would be really good in this. And I'm like, oh, I got that in the garden. And I could just run out. It was like having my own produce department, but even more so, I knew what was in there. So I did get to have a little bit of the, of the harvest last year before it all died. But once it died, it just... like I said, this was really hard for me to pick back up, and I wasn't really sure if I had the, excuse the expression, but balls to get in front of this camera. This isn't as easy as it looks, and the truth is that I need this, I think, and maybe there's a lot of other people out there that needed it too, So I'm going to take you on a really quick tour of what's left of the garden, and in that, I hope that you see what I see, and I no longer see the devastation that happened here. I actually really see what I can do for this next year. I don't know if you're planning. Are you planning a garden right now? And if you are, like, was it your first year? In your first year, what mistakes did you make, and what would you do differently? So leave some comments down below. Let me know what you would do. I know my first year was really, really difficult. I know I learned so much. I lost so much. I spent a lot more money than I needed to. And this year, thanks to a garden journal that I started, and we'll talk about that in another episode, but, and a whole lot of research. I mean, man, I studied my whole butt off day in, day out. I mean, every day you learn something different about yourself and about the plants that you're growing. And in that, I think that there's something very, very empowering about feeding your family things that you grew yourself. So there's like no chemicals, you don't have to worry about where it came from, there's just something really beautiful and magical about that. So where you're going to see some pretty massive devastation in my garden, for me right now, I see another magical place that I get to create, and I'm going to take you along with me this time. We're going to go step by step. That's what this channel is going to be about. We're not just going to garden, but we're going to go through and walk through some shit in life, because life is not easy. And when I'm going through those things, and I know other people are too, I am hoping that you see my weakness, my strengths, my hopes. I'm hoping that you understand that there is no part of me that's going to give up, because the weakness in me is really just another life lesson that I have to learn. And it's such a blessing to find out that you're not the only one that has to suffer these things. Again, I watch Jess on Roots and Refuge, and man, sometimes when she's going through stuff and she gets emotional, I gotta go, and I'm emotional right beside her, because I absolutely understand the passion as well as the the influence that having your own garden can make in your own personal life. I mean, it's a life choice. It takes a lot of time, a lot of energy. You fail a lot. But everything you gain in that, man, is beyond measure. You can't measure that. I just don't see a way that you could be like, oh, this is better than this, or this is better than this. No, man, like, there just is nothing better. And so I really hope that you continue to check out my channel. Give me a like, thumbs up, whatever they do. Subscribe if you don't mind. Spread the word. I mean, and to interact with me, let me know what you need to know in the beginning. My very next video after this one, in fact, is going to be when to sow your seed. So we're going to start at the very beginning of my garden, and you guys are going to walk with me through this part of the journey. And yes, I know that strand of hair, same thing as the other video. I can't help it. It's cold outside. It's January. I'm a ginger kid, so whatever. Don't need you judging. Just playing. I love you. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what's left of the garden and understand that something beautiful is going to grow here. And if it's not going to be a bunch of plants, then it's going to be me. And so I can't wait to find out what this looks like at the end of the year. I'm going to change, this garden's going to change, and I'm hoping that you'll find something that helps change your life as well. If you'd like to join my community and you want more information about me or the garden, you can go to www.themagicgarden.online.com, or you can go to DIY@thebeehive.com. And over at the Beehive, you can see a blog about how I built these boxes, what I did to make them out of pallets, how you can do all these things super, super cheap. You don't have to have a lot of money to be happy. You just have to find yourself, and you have to love who you are, and I found that here. And I hope you can find that here too. So come join me, okay? We're going to go check out the garden. All right. Alright, so it's mid-January, end of January, and this is the front of my garden. I built this fence. There is a really beautiful sign that my friend Stephanie, she is amazing at some wood burning art, and she recreated the whole top of this walkway for me. I can't wait to show you guys that. But again, all of these are made out of pallet wood and just a couple of screws, that kind of stuff. But anyway, so as you walk through the threshold, you can see all my dead plants. Ugh, my God. It just breaks a girl's heart to see them all. But the truth is that I also see something really beautiful in all of this. This is the second box that I built, and in it I tried cantaloupe and some other things, but it just didn't work out that way. And on the other side, I went with some green peppers that are just dead and devastated. I have a little plant area here, and this is my green bean box, which I'm probably going to switch to another box this year. It works really well, but pole beans really like a lot of room, so I'd like to, give them the room they need. I took some old newspaper boxes, since newspaper boxes are no longer a thing, and I made them into an herb garden, which is really cute. Over here I've got some more herbs and vegetables, and a box that a friend of mine actually gave to us. And it's really funny because I just came out here and realized that there's still spinach growing. Look at this. It didn't grow so well last year, but it's going to grow now, huh? So, and this was my first canopy. I was so excited to have it. It was really, really not within the budget to do, but I did it anyway, and it's beautiful. All of these stairs in here I cut out myself, which you can tell that, again, Mother Nature has just lost her mind back here. You can start seeing all the devastation here in just about a second. Yeah, this is the heartbreaking part. So that's my tomato box and what was my squash box. And unfortunately, the back trellis is now completely gone. It's in pieces in my garage. But as you can tell, this is the meditation deck. And I made that last year, which was really beautiful to sit up underneath this trellis that is now just, everywhere. It's, God, the devastation is almost heartbreaking. This is probably the first time I've actually really come out here since we had to take everything down. I just sometimes can't look at it. But, again, I really just see a whole new foundation for something really beautiful. And my whole walk, little sit area back there where the fire pit's gonna go, it's just destroyed. But what's really nice is you kind of do. It gives you hope, gives you strength, it gives you something to look forward to. And I really look forward to bringing you a lot more from the Beehive and from the Magic Garden. Thank you so much for joining me on this part of my journey. I'm hoping that you follow along and walk with me on learning some of these things, because the truth is that you really can find yourself in the things that you can create. You can find yourself in your own creation. I hope that you follow along with me. Again, give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you're going to be growing this year and what your first mistakes were. You can comment down below. I'd absolutely love to hear from you. So I guess until next time, folks, just remember, the garden that you grow might be the one inside you.